Shalom, I am Rabbi David. Every single day, you perform a physical action that you probably do not even think about. You walk up to your front door, you turn the key, you push the door open, and you walk inside. You do this so often that it has become completely automatic. But in the ancient Jewish tradition, the act of crossing the threshold of your home is not just a physical movement, it is a profound spiritual transition. The doorway is a portal. It is the boundary between the chaos of the outside world and the sanctuary of your inner world. The Kabbalists teach that the way you cross this boundary determines the financial and spiritual energy that fills your home. If you enter your house the wrong way, you are silently blocking your wealth. You are bringing the poverty, stress, and anxiety of the outside world straight into your living room. Today, I am going to reveal the ancient Jewish secret of the threshold. I will show you exactly how to enter your home so that you leave poverty at the door and invite absolute abundance inside. To understand this, we must look at one of the most visible symbols of the Jewish faith, the mezuzah. If you walk through any Jewish neighborhood, you will see a small case affixed to the right side of the doorpost of every home. Inside this case is a piece of parchment with specific verses from the Torah written on it, specifically from the book of Deuteronomy. The Torah commands us, in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 9, to write these words on the doorposts of our houses and on our gates. But why the doorpost? Why not put the holy words on the dining room table or above the fireplace? Because the doorpost is the point of transition. It is the filter. The Talmud in Tractate Menachot 33b tells a famous story about a Roman convert named Onkelos. When the Roman emperor sent soldiers to arrest him, Onkelos placed his hand on the mezuzah. The soldiers asked him what it was. He replied that a human king sits inside his palace while his guards stand outside to protect him. But the creator of the universe places his protection on the outside of the home to guard those inside. The mezuzah is the divine filter that keeps negative energy out and allows blessing in. And for those who are truly serious about accelerating their journey, for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the complete Torah wealth system. It is the full architecture of ancient wisdom applied to modern financial transformation. The doors are closing soon, so check the link in the comments. The first mistake people make when entering their home is crossing the threshold while carrying the stress of the outside world. Think about how you usually come home from work. You are probably thinking about the emails you did not answer, the argument you had with your boss, or the bills you have to pay. You walk through the door with your shoulders tense and your mind racing. In the Jewish tradition, this is a severe spiritual error. The home is considered a mikdash me'at, a miniature temple. You would never walk into a holy temple screaming about your taxes or complaining about the traffic. When you bring the stress of the outside world into your home, you are polluting your sanctuary. You are filling your space with the frequency of lack and anxiety. Wealth cannot grow in a polluted environment. The sages teach that before you turn the handle of your front door, you must pause. You must take a deep breath and consciously leave the burdens of the day outside. You must visualize taking off a heavy backpack of stress and leaving it on the porch. When you cross the threshold, you must enter as a free person, ready to receive blessing. Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. Daniel was a successful sales executive, but he was constantly stressed about money. No matter how much he earned, it never felt like enough. He would come home every evening, throw his briefcase on the floor, and immediately start complaining to his wife about the economy, his clients, and his expenses. His home felt like a war zone. I told Daniel about the concept of the threshold. I told him that his home was a vessel for wealth, but he was filling it with the toxic energy of complaint every single night. I gave him a simple rule. He was not allowed to touch the doorknob until he had taken 3 deep breaths and found one thing to be grateful for. He had to leave his complaints outside. Daniel started doing this. The first few days were difficult, but soon the atmosphere in his house began to change. The tension lifted. His wife noticed the difference, and they started having peaceful evenings. A month later, Daniel closed the biggest deal of his career. He realized that by protecting the energy of his home, he had created a space where wealth could actually land and multiply. The second mistake people make is ignoring the spiritual activation of the doorway. In Jewish tradition, we do not just walk past the mezuzah, we interact with it. When passing through a doorway where a mezuzah is affixed, it is customary to reach out, touch the mezuzah with the right hand, and then kiss the fingertips. This is not superstition. It is a physical action that anchors a spiritual truth. By touching the mezuzah, you are acknowledging that the Creator is the true owner of the home and the ultimate source of your provision. You are activating the divine filter. When you walk into your house without acknowledging the source of your blessings, you are operating in a state of arrogance. You are acting as if your house, your furniture, and your money are solely the result of your own hard work. The Torah warns us against this in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 17, saying, "We must never think that our own power and the might of our own hand have gotten us this wealth." Arrogance blocks abundance. Humility attracts it. By pausing to touch the doorpost, even if you do not have a physical mezuzah, you are practicing the humility that opens the gates of wealth. Consider the story of a woman named Leah. Leah was a freelance consultant who was struggling to find clients. She worked from home, and she felt like her apartment was a prison of anxiety. She would pace back and forth between rooms, worrying about how she was going to pay her rent. I taught Leah about the spiritual power of the doorway. I told her that every time she walked through the front door, she needed to touch the doorframe and say a simple prayer. "Thank you, Creator, for this shelter and for the abundance that is on its way." Leah started doing this. Every time she came back from the grocery store or a walk, she touched the doorframe and spoke the words of gratitude. This simple physical action interrupted her cycle of anxiety. It forced her to focus on what she had rather than what she lacked. Within 2 weeks, Leah received a call from a former colleague who wanted to hire her for a massive consulting project. The project paid enough to cover her rent for the next 6 months. Leah learned that the doorway is not just a piece of wood, it is an activation point for divine blessing. The third mistake people make is entering their home with a poverty mindset regarding the home itself. Many people look at their house or apartment and only see the expenses. They see the mortgage payment, the rent, the electricity bill, and the repairs that need to be done. They view their home as a financial burden. This is a massive spiritual block. In the Jewish tradition, the home is the ultimate vessel for blessing. The Talmud teaches that a person's home is their castle, and it should be treated with the respect of a royal palace. When you look at your home and only see debt, you are cursing your own vessel. You are telling the universe that you do not appreciate the shelter you have been given. If you do not appreciate the vessel, why would the universe send more water to fill it? You must change the way you view your living space. When you walk through the door, you must see your home as a manifestation of divine wealth. Even if it is a small apartment, even if it needs repairs, it is your sanctuary. It is the physical proof that you are provided for. Let me share the story of a man named Isaac. Isaac lived in a tiny, cramped apartment in a bad neighborhood. He hated his apartment. He complained about it constantly. He felt that his living situation was proof that he was a failure. He was trying to build a business, but nothing was working. I told Isaac that his hatred for his home was blocking his business success. I told him that he needed to treat his tiny apartment like a mansion. I instructed him to clean it thoroughly, to organize his workspace, and to walk through the front door every day with a sense of profound gratitude for having a roof over his head. Isaac was resistant at first, but he followed my advice. He stopped complaining about the apartment and started blessing it. He treated it with respect. As his attitude toward his home changed, his energy shifted. He became more focused and more confident. A few weeks later, an investor he had been pitching finally agreed to fund his business. Isaac eventually moved into a beautiful house, but he never forgot the lesson. He learned that you cannot attract a bigger vessel until you learn to bless the vessel you currently have. The way you enter your house is a daily test of your spiritual alignment. It is a moment where you choose between the chaos of the world and the peace of the sanctuary. It is a moment where you choose between arrogance and humility. It is a moment where you choose between complaint and gratitude. The next time you walk up to your front door, do not just turn the key and rush inside. Stop. Take a breath. Leave your stress on the porch. Touch the doorframe. Acknowledge the Creator as the source of your wealth. Walk inside with the intention of bringing light and peace into your sanctuary. If you do this consistently, you will transform the energy of your home. You will turn it into a powerful magnet for financial abundance. The doorway is your portal. Use it wisely. This practice of mindful entry is not just about the physical space, it is about the people inside that space. When you cross the threshold with the right energy, you are protecting your family from the financial anxiety that destroys so many relationships. The Talmud teaches that a person should always be careful about the honor of their spouse, because blessing is found in a person's home only on account of their spouse. When you bring the stress of your workday into your living room, you are inevitably going to take it out on the people you love the most. You will snap at your children, you will argue with your partner, and you will create an atmosphere of tension. This tension is a direct block to wealth. Financial abundance requires a foundation of peace, or shalom, in the home. By leaving your stress at the door, you are preserving the shalom. You are ensuring that your home remains a place of unity and support. When a family is united in peace, their collective vessel for receiving blessing is exponentially larger than when they are divided by stress. Consider the story of a man named Aaron. Aaron was a successful lawyer, but his marriage was falling apart because of his financial anxiety. He was constantly worried about billable hours and partnership tracks. He would come home, ignore his family, and immediately start working on his laptop at the kitchen table. His home was just an extension of his office. I told Aaron that he was destroying the very vessel that was meant to hold his wealth. I gave him a strict rule. He was not allowed to bring his laptop past the front door. He had to leave it in his car. When he crossed the threshold, he had to be fully present as a husband and a father. He had to leave the lawyer outside. Aaron fought me on this, claiming he would lose his job if he did not work in the evenings, but he finally agreed to try it for 1 week. The first few nights were agonizing for him, but by the end of the week, his wife told him it was the best week they had had in years. The peace returned to his home. And surprisingly, his productivity at work skyrocketed because he was actually resting at night. He became a partner at his firm 6 months later. Aaron learned that protecting the peace of the home is the ultimate financial strategy. But before you go, I know what some of you are thinking. You are thinking that this sounds too simple. You are wondering how touching a doorframe and taking a deep breath can possibly pay your mortgage or grow your business. You believe that wealth only comes from grinding out 80-hour work weeks and aggressively pursuing every dollar. This is the fundamental error of the modern financial mindset. The modern world teaches you that wealth is entirely physical, that it is just numbers on a screen and paper in a bank vault. But the Torah teaches that the physical world is just the outer layer of a much deeper spiritual reality. Your home is not just bricks and mortar, it is a spiritual container. If that container is cracked by stress, polluted by complaints, and disconnected from its divine source, no amount of hard work will fill it. The money will simply leak out through unexpected expenses, bad investments, and constant emergencies. When you change the way you enter your home, you are repairing the container. You are sealing the cracks. You are creating an environment where the wealth you work so hard for can actually stay and multiply. Do not dismiss the power of the threshold. Try it for 30 days and watch how the atmosphere of your life changes. Furthermore, some of you might be thinking that you do not have a mezuzah or that you are not Jewish, so this practice does not apply to you. This is a misunderstanding of universal spiritual laws. While the physical mezuzah is a specific commandment for the Jewish people, the spiritual principle behind it applies to every human being. The principle is that your home must be dedicated to a higher purpose. Your home must be recognized as a gift from the Creator, not just a piece of real estate you bought with your own money. Even if you do not have a parchment scroll on your doorpost, you can still practice the mindfulness of the threshold. You can still pause before entering. You can still touch the doorframe as a physical anchor for your gratitude. You can still make the conscious decision to leave the chaos of the world outside and enter your sanctuary with peace. The universe responds to intention. When you treat your home as a sacred space of provision, the universe will provide for that space. There is one final crucial element to this practice. Once you have mastered the art of entering your home, you must also master the art of leaving it. The threshold works in both directions. Just as you must not bring the stress of the world into your sanctuary, you must not bring the comfort of your sanctuary into the battlefield of the world. When you leave your house in the morning, you must cross the threshold with purpose and determination. The Talmud teaches that a person should leave their home with the mindset of a warrior going out to conquer. You are going out into the world to gather resources, to create value, and to bring light into the darkness. When you walk out the door, touch the doorframe again. Ask the Creator for success in your endeavors. Ask for the wisdom to see opportunities and the strength to overcome obstacles. By doing this, you are bookending your day with spiritual alignment. You are leaving with purpose, and you are returning with peace. This is the ultimate rhythm of wealth creation. Let me share one more story to illustrate this point. A young entrepreneur named David came to me. He was running a startup that was bleeding money, and he was working himself to the point of exhaustion. He told me that his home felt like a hotel. He only used it to sleep for a few hours before rushing back to the office. He had no boundary between his work and his sanctuary. I told David that he was violating the law of the threshold. I instructed him to implement a strict routine. When he left in the morning, he had to pause at the door, state his financial goal for the day, and ask for divine assistance. When he returned at night, he had to pause at the door, leave his phone in his car for the first hour, and enter his home with absolute gratitude, regardless of how the day had gone. David accepted the challenge. It forced him to slow down and become mindful of his transitions. Within a month, the chaotic energy of his startup began to stabilize. He started making better decisions because he was no longer operating from a place of constant panic. His home became a place of true rest, which allowed him to be more effective at work. The business turned a profit for the first time in a year. David learned that the boundary between the world and the home is the foundation of sustainable wealth. And if you are truly serious about accelerating your journey and applying these principles at the highest level for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the complete Torah wealth system, the full architecture of ancient wisdom applied to modern financial transformation. The doors are closing soon. The link is in the comments. I look forward to seeing you inside and helping you build the wealth you were destined to create.